Hey everyone, it's Kayla, and today I'm doing the mid-year book freakout tag. I recently saw Mari from My Name is Marines do this tag, and I will leave her video below, so go check that out. I will also leave the original video below, so go check that out as well. For each question, I'm going to try to answer with a different book, just so I can talk about a variety of books that I've read. However, the first two are the same, so I already broke my own rule, but that's okay, that's okay. Questions 1 and 2, best book I read this year so far, best sequel I read this year so far, hands down, One Dark Throne by Kendar Blake, and this is the second book in the Three Dark Crown series. For those of you that don't know, this series follows a set of triplets who, at the age of 6, are separated into different factions, and they are raised to become the next queen, and when they come of age, there's a year where one has to kill the other two off, essentially, and that's where our story begins. I read Three Dark Crowns over like 2 days, and then after the last 100 pages, I immediately needed to order One Dark Throne. I inhaled it like in a day, and it took the series from here to here for me. Like, I absolutely love it. I cannot wait for Two Dark Reins in the fall, and I love the darkness. I love the complexity of the cast of characters, and each character is really well developed in my opinion, and I love the brutality of the world, and I can't wait to see how this all resolves in the next couple books. It's been a while since I've been really shocked by twists and things like that and darkness in books, and this definitely hits all those buttons. I understand people who DNF the first book because it is super slow in the beginning. It's definitely a slow burn, but I think the payoff's worth it. Like, it's definitely worth it. And then book 2 makes it really worth it. So yes, best sequel, best book I read this year, One Dark Throne by Kendar Blake. Number 3, a new release that you haven't read yet but you want to. And for this, I'm gonna go with Brightly Burning by Alexa Dunn. Alexa Dunn has a YouTube channel here. She's an author tuber, and I love her writing advice videos and all of her writing related videos. She's really brutally honest about the publishing world and what to expect when you're traditionally published, and even talks about things that no one else talks about, like money and contracts and things like that, and I find that really fascinating, and I appreciate that a lot. And her debut this year came out. I haven't read it yet. I just picked it up for Kindle, and basically it's Jane Eyre set in space, I believe, so I'm anxious to check it out. Number 4 is most anticipated release for the rest of 2018. Is this a surprise to anyone? Strange the Dreamer was my favorite book of the year last year, and I love Laini Taylor. I wish she'd write all the books. Number 5, greatest disappointment of 2018. Ooh, this is gonna be a little controversial because everyone seems to love this book. It was okay. It was okay. Like, it wasn't anything special in my opinion. 3 stars. I think I gave it 3 stars. I just felt like, as a huge fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the comparisons were so in your face that I was like, ugh. Inan, is that his name? Inan? I'm not sure how to pronounce the character's name, but the male character obviously is supposed to be Zuko. Like, obviously. Zuko in Avatar: The Last Airbender had one of the best character arcs of all time. So I feel like that was big shoes to fill. Like, this character had no chance. Like, but you can tell, like, things were straight from Avatar, and like, that's fine. I just love Avatar. Like, it's near and dear to my heart. So of course I'm going to be critical of things, and I just felt overall the book was very surface. It was very action-packed, but because of that I feel like there lacked a certain depth, and I just wasn't attached to any of the characters except maybe the brother and the princess, Amari. I think that's her name, Amari. Amari's my favorite, I think, by far. And I just felt also that the relationships were formed way too quickly, especially like in regards to insta-love. Like, show me the receipts. Show me the receipts, please, like, of the relationship that formed. Even some of the friendships, show me the receipts. Like, I just felt like from one page to the other, the emotions weren't consistent, and I can't believe I'm like ripping into this book. It was good. Like, I love the creativity of the world. I love the fact that there was African inspiration in there. I love the diversity of the cast. I don't know. It didn't hit home for me. Number 6, biggest surprise, and that would definitely be Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I read this in February, I think. I don't know. I just never expected to love it as much as I did. I heard nothing but Hunger Game comparisons for like the last couple years, so I was like, oh, Hunger Games in space, okay. No, it wasn't really Hunger Games in space. I don't think that's fair at all, and I feel like that comparison turns a lot of people away from this series, and honestly, if I hadn't heard that, I might have read it sooner, and I don't know, I just don't think it's fair. Like, I get what they mean, like, in some ways it's a fight to the death at this one part, but like, they're in teams, and it's like capture the flag. Like, it's an intense version of capture the flag, in my opinion. But now that I'm reading the second book, it's even more of a political intrigue in space. Like, if anything, I would say it's more like Game of Thrones in space, because it's like factions vying for power and making political moves and twists and everything. And I just really, really am enjoying the series. It's brutal, and it's more of an adult series. I'm not sure what it's classified as, but I would definitely say it's more adult than YA. But yeah, I just don't think the Hunger Games comparisons are fair, like, at all. Number 7, favorite new to you author, and that would definitely be Celeste Ng. I read Little Fires Everywhere, one of the first books of the year. I gave it 5 stars. She is absolutely incredible. Her characterization, the way she develops emotion on the page is just phenomenal, and it doesn't take a lot. Like, she can do it in a couple words, and it's freaking fantastic. And I definitely need to read her second book, well, her first book, Everything I Never Told You. I just hauled it. So I definitely think she's going to be an insta-buy author, insta-read author for me in the future, and I can't wait to see what else she'll write, because I just love her writing style so much. She has such a way of making such small town drama or small town like characters into these big themes, and I just really appreciate that in the writing style a lot. Number 8, new fictional crush. I don't really do the whole crush thing anymore. I remember, like, when I first joined BookTube, it was all about the book boyfriends, but now I'm just like, eh. So I'm gonna change this a little bit. I'm gonna say new OTP, or like new couple, new pairing, or whatever. I recently read To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo, and it's not the ship itself that I like so much in that book, but at the end, during the boss battle, they have a kiss scene, and normally I'm not one to talk about kisses or anything, but guys, this kiss scene like set my soul on fire. Like, it set my soul on fire, and I was like, damn, this is how you do a kiss scene. Like, I don't know why, it just stood out to me, and I like immediately texted Lainey, who read it before me, Lainey from Gingery's Lainey, and I was just like, dude, this kiss, like, what? Number 9, newest favorite character, and that would be Lisa and Maverick, Star's parents from The Hate U Give. I loved the family dynamics in The Hate U Give so much, and I loved Star's relationship with both of her parents, and I listened to it on audiobook, and the narrator did like such a fantastic job with Maverick especially, and I just grew so attached to them, and I was constantly worried about them, and I just really appreciated the way they were with Star, the openness of their relationship, the emotion behind it. Number 10, book that made you cry. I'm not sure that I really cried while I read this, but I had to go to Texas for a conference for work, and on the plane I read the entire book of Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia, I think that's her name. This book really hit home for me. The main character suffers from anxiety and depression, and it's really prevalent in the last half of the book, and it just spoke to me, and I could really relate to some of the things that she was going through, and it was just really powerful. And I'm not sure that I cried, but like, I definitely had a lot of feelings, because like, it was really relative, and I really appreciated reading like mental illness in a book. Like, I really appreciated that a lot. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna say Eliza and Her Monsters for emotion. Number 11, book that made you happy, and this should come as no surprise if you've watched any of my videos before, but volume 6 and 7 of Giant Days made me extremely happy. I love this comic so much. It's a slice of life comic about 3 friends in college going through daily life and daily life struggles, and it's hilarious and heartwarming and so relatable, and I can't say enough about it. Like, you need to go read it. Like, just go. And even if you're not into comics, this is a great way to get into comics. You just go and get Giant Days. It's like reading about your best friends, okay? Okay, just go do it. Number 12, favorite book to movie adaptation. I literally couldn't think of one, and then I was like, duh, Ready Player One. I thought it was awesome, and it's been years since I read the book, and like, I know a lot of problematic things have come out lately about the book, but the movie was actually really entertaining. I loved all the references, like the Iron Giant at the end made my life complete, and I thought the music, the soundtrack was awesome. Like, it's a lot of 80s nostalgia, and not that I was really alive in the 80s, but I love 80s rock music. I just thought it was a good time. That's what I was hoping for, and that's what I got. Number 13, favorite video or review that you've written or filmed this year. Considering this is my fourth video total this year, really can't answer this question. Just saying. Number 14, the most beautiful book that you've acquired so far this year. So I went through all the books that I bought this year so far, and not one of them stands out except for Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi, or To Kill a Kingdom, because I really like the gold foil lettering on To Kill a Kingdom. So one of those. Number 15 is books that I still want to read by the end of the year, and I have a list of 10 books here, so let's go through them very quickly. This is a novella, but The Slow Regard of Silent Things by Patrick Rothfuss. This is a novella that ties to The Name of the Wind, Kingkiller Chronicles, and I cannot believe that I haven't read it yet. Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng, pretty self-explanatory. The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, because I can't believe I haven't read this yet either. The Obelisk Gate and the Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin, the second and third books in the Broken Earth trilogy. Then I have Golden Sun and Morning Star, the second and third books in the Red Rising trilogy by Pierce Brown, for the same reasons. I don't want to forget what happened in Red Rising, so I need to get on finishing these series. That's my goal. I have The Journey to Dragon Island by Claire Fairs. This is a middle grade adventure story. It's the second book in the Accidental Pirate series, the first book being The Voyage to Magical North, which I absolutely adored last year. It's fun, lighthearted, and I just love the cast of characters so much. Next I have The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making by Catherine M. Valenti, and that was a tongue twister. Whew. And the last 3 books on this list are upcoming releases for the fall, and that would be Two Dark Reins by Kendar Blake. Like I said before, I cannot wait. Queen of Air and Darkness, the third and final book in the Dark Artifices series by Cassandra Clare, because I'm Shadowhunter trash. And last but not least, The Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor, which is going to be beautiful, but also going to break me. So I can't wait for that. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Let me know below what your favorite book of the year so far has been, and I will see you all soon. Bye.